Hey everyone, welcome to Ellis Mowers. We're going to work on this Stihl FS45 weed eater today. Curved shaft. I think it's one of the budget Stihl items. I think you get it for like $149 or something like that. What I know so far is that it had some old gas in it, so it's been sitting a little bit, and it's not priming. So it's either got a gummed up carburetor or one of the I guess you could call it the metering diaphragms bad in it, one of the two. So we are going to figure out that. I do have, you can buy the whole kit for like I think it was about $12 or something like that, like air filter and everything. Spark plug, a Savior brand, I don't even know that brand. Bunch of other stuff we'll get into. Like I said, the whole carburetor and fuel filter, and I mean it's just the whole shebang. So we're probably just gonna go about putting this entire thing on. So let me get the tools I need and we'll get started. Alright, I show this a lot, but Franco the Boss, here on my sticker cabinet, if you want to send me a sticker, feel free to. If you would like one of my stickers, which I need to add to my cabinet, let me know. DM me on Instagram. We'll get one sent your way. Franco the Boss, kindly enough, on the video that I posted about getting the 3 items that this was a part of. It was a Stihl weed eater, edger, and a tiller. So I've got about 20 bucks in it. He said that these have a classic issue where the bottom diaphragm gets hard and it will harden, and then obviously it won't prime, which is what this one's doing, or not doing, whatever way you want to put about it. So what we're gonna do, it looks like we're missing a nut here on the carb too. I don't think that will cause any priming issues, but see this right here, looks like we're missing a nut, so that doesn't help matters. I think that's going to be an 8 or a 10 millimeter. Let's get the toolbox out. Actually, I got one hanging right here. That's going to be an 8. Let's see. 8 mil. Got a little impact here. That takes that off. I'm going to have to find another one of those to attach to the left side of that carburetor. Choke and all that good stuff is in good shape. So an air filter cover and all that. You can buy these things like air filter cover and all. I mean, it's kind of cool. And you can buy all this mess for it. So, never done a Stihl before, so this is kind of a treat. We have our fuel lines, which are the rubber ones, which I am finding are leaps and bounds better already than the other ones that come on these things. And I've actually got the entire fuel line assembly here that I can take off and replace if I need to. I might do that. But I mean, look how easy that came off. And then I have a throttle plate, which, let's see. Let's look over here. So it looks like it is is it a tensioner type deal? Yeah, so I should just be able to push this down, slide it. Look at that. Wow. Good deal. So you can kind of hear it. Ooh, I didn't have it on camera. Sorry. Of course, I'm just spraying it all on my workbench here, but you can kind of hear it. Yeah. This will work better, right? You kind of hear it where it's not really strong. It's kind of got a bunch of air in it. Well, obviously it's not got any gas in it now, but that's the same way that it was whenever I was trying to prime it earlier. And I'm sure the gas that was inside it was not helping matters any, but it means there's something up in the carb. Like Franco the boss said, I think he said that bottom diaphragm down here gets hard. This is a Zama carburetor made in China, so it's like, you know, do you get a Chinese Zama replacement or you just get a Chinese replacement, you know? Either way, it's coming from a foreign entity. Before we put the new one on, we'll just open this one up and see how it looks. So this is that diaphragm that Franco says gets hard. The bottom diaphragm, you can tell I'm just pushing it in and it's kind of, well, that's not a diaphragm, I'm sorry. It is a diaphragm. You can you hear the crunchiness of it. So that's probably what he is talking about. The inside of the internals of the carb have that old gas deal, but you see the fuel screen right there is clean, so it wasn't debris. Let's take off. I'll take off these 4 screws right here. One thing I really want to invest in is a JAS screwdriver set. I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and buy one because they'll work a lot better than Phillips especially on these carburetors. Especially the Nickies on riding mowers and stuff. Especially getting them 2 screws off of the bottom bowl down there on them single cylinder Briggs. We're not going to reuse this carburetor. I'm pretty confident, thanks to Franco the boss, that we have a bad diaphragm, and we can get the whole tune-up kit for like 10, 12 bucks. I can't remember exactly what they are. Then for a weed eater that's worth about 80, you know, that's all you want to do anyways. Oh, I got one more screw in there I didn't get out. Rather cold day, so my fingers don't want to quite work like they would on a warm day in here. Silly me, don't have a garage heater, but oh well. You kind of hear it to where it doesn't want to prime very well. Of course, that could just be the characteristics of a Zama carburetor, you know. If I were to guess, though, that, yeah, I mean, this is hard as a rock. So I'm sure that's the issue. There's the internals of it. Not terribly complicated. And I'm pretty sure that gas probably hardened the diaphragms on it. So let me cut that right there, and I'm going to investigate how to get these rubber tubes out. And I'm hoping that it just comes out with a fuel filter and all. And we will continue on. Okay. Here we go. I'm just going to remove that for right now. That doesn't even set on anything. It just sets over the carburetor. Stihl, I like you a lot so far. I hope that this is easy. See if I can grab this rubber line under the boot there. Look at that. Anybody want to bet the fuel filter comes out? I'm sure a lot of y'all that watch my channel have worked on many a Stihl products before. Look at that. Wow. I'll pull that fuel filter out. Fuel filter doesn't look bad. Tank is empty and dry now that I have worked on it. There's a little bit of crinkling and whatnot. Ooh, a little bit of crinkling going on in the fuel filter right there. But, I mean, the lines are good. They're a little soft. So, we've got that set up right there. I was thinking I'd been working a little bit more than, 30 minutes on this thing, considering it's the first ever Stihl weed eater that I have used. So here's your setup with your fuel filter, right? Ooh, let me get you close. So this is like the little return for the primer bulb. We are going to insert the new fuel filter. Oh, Stihl. You might have just sold me on your products by this one little FS45 weed eater right here. This is kind of awesome. Alright, so I'm pretty sure it just, fuel filter just sits down in here somewhere. There we go. I think it goes down in there toward the rear so that it can catch part of the bottom of the tank. There we go. Don't force it. So here's your return line. Remember, the one that's the one that's bendy is your feed line for the fuel. The one that is not is your return line. Remember that when you put the carb back on. So now it's just a matter of getting that little rubber piece down in there. Locking it in. Goodness gracious, could it be any easier so far? Stark contrast, because all I'm doing right here is trying to get the this little lip here to pop out, which I've almost got it. Let's see. I just gotta get that little lip to pop out right here on this side, and we'll be golden. Alright, one more right there. That's good. Okay. So like I said, your return is the straight one. And your intake line is the one that's got the bendies on it, right? What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the carburetor. Got gaskets for this thing too. Already comes with a primer bulb on it, which is great. So that one is your, let's see. So that one's your outlet right there, which I said is the one that's not bendy, right? Ooh. Be a little bit, maybe even easier if it was warmer outside, because this would be a little bit more pliable, you know. So we just wiggle that up onto it right there. Good. Okay. me put you over here now. Just see things a little bit better, I think. There. All right. We'll go ahead and slide the throttle cable back on it. When we got it out, we will put the outlet or the inlet for the carb in after I push the carb back in. I got to get gaskets first on it though. So I've got 2 gaskets here. This one, it's got 2 holes in it in addition to the regular one is going to fit right like that. So for the hole in the bottom and the hole on the side, boom, right there, right? And so we're going to go ahead and pop that back on. We'll get this fuel line out of the way real quick. Come on. There we go. So that's on. Like I said, that just pops in just like you see it there. Just like that. And so then we take this fuel line over here, hook it to your inlet. And that should, as long as you don't have any kinks or anything, that should get you, just make sure you push it on there good. That should get you what you need. Can't be that easy, but it might be. Let me find, I know I've got a ton of hardware. Let me find another one of these. I'll go ahead and put the, all I gotta do is put the air filter cover back on it. Like so. That presses everything in. And I got an air filter here too, don't I? I also got a second gasket. That second gasket goes, maybe it gives you 2 different types of gaskets just in case, because that's not really gonna do anything. But I might put it there just so that it's there, you know. You just pop that on, right? So that's it. Here's the new air filter. Boom. So that's all I'm gonna do. Find a second one of these 8mm nuts, pop on here, which I should have tons. I just gotta find them. Air filter goes on like that. And I'm just gonna stick some 2-cycle mix in it and see if the thing will take off for us. I do know, I tested it before filming. I do know that I'm getting spark, or that it will run. It has enough compression to run. It just needs the fuel aspect of it. So let me find a 8mm nut and I will rejoin you in just a second. Alright guys, I'm outside. It's a cold day, so this is a great little fix. I don't know if y'all can see the ice on the trees. I'm filming this a couple days before Valentine's Day here in North Carolina. Apparently ice is cooler than snow around here, and we, tend to get it. Definitely makes me worried for myself with all of my pine trees around. But it's not to the point where it's going to be detrimental as of yet. Hopefully it won't be. All things aside, I have gas in this 2-cycle mix, not gas. I haven't primed it, I haven't done anything. So let's see if I can start it up with just that simple replacement. Alright, sounds like it's priming very well, so that's good. Let's see if it starts. It's cold outside. Let it warm up for a second, see if we can rev it up. Helps when you turn the on-off switch back on. Almost sounds like the high side might need to be pulled out just a little bit, but I have to look at the head. Well, look at the head real quick and then we'll wrap this video up. But y'all can hear it's running great and I haven't even adjusted it. So let me get back in the garage because it is cold out here, and we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'm gonna check the head on it and make sure it's functioning the way that it needs to. Check the string, and I'll join you in just a sec. Alrighty guys, so luckily, just very quickly, I mentioned ice on the trees when I came and took this thing out for a run. This is a few days later. We're going to put some string in it, but I did just want to mention that we had 2 ice storms in 1 week. One of them caused quite a bit of damage since I have cleaned up. And the other one, thankfully it was just ice on the trees and no damage around the property, thankfully. If you want to see the ice storm damage, I'll put a link in the description below, but I didn't want to waste a lot of time on it. Let me get back in the garage. We will restring the Stihl, clean it up, and wrap this video up. Alright guys, so the string on this is need to be replaced. Whenever I was trying to bump the string earlier, it wasn't bumping, and that was because somebody actually like took the hooks or whatever it is on there and had like hooked it on the inside for one of the string hooks and never undid it, and so it wasn't able to feed out. But I got it to feed out. There's just no string in there, so we're gonna put some new string in. You take this nut off, take your head off, push and turn to the right. You can pull out your old string. It would be easier to cut it, wouldn't it? But I guess I would rather pull it out, right? So again, not much string left. We're just gonna get it all taken care of right here. It looks like it's one of those you just hook in there. It just hooks in and you attach it on both sides, and then you just wind it in and cut it in the end. You should be able to do this from the outside, maybe not. I'm not sure. I know that I saw a video of the newer ones that you could do from the outside. And there were some arrows that you were supposed to line up, but I don't see the arrows on this. So I doubt that I can Oh, I can't do that. So this is old school, guys. Apparently the newer ones they make easier to do. That kind of stinks. Let's see. I just had it just like that. So that's kind of the lock position there, and then when you bump it, I guess it'll push out like that so that you can move it around. So we're going to go ahead and put string in it. Maybe what I can do, I'm just not a fan of these heads. Let me get the string out and let me show you all the way that I decided to string it up. I think it'll be easier once we get this back on the head there and just get the string fed through on each side. Because they had it in these hooks here, but it wouldn't feed out. So I think I've just got to hook it into those holes right there, which is only one set of holes, and then feed it out that way. Let me figure this out, because I have an Echo here at home, and the Echoes are super easy. These are not as easy, apparently. Still, though, not too bad. Let me cut off some string, and we will put it on. Alright guys, I've done many takes trying to figure this out, and I think I finally have it. I originally did it the opposite way, and I'm not going to show you that. But as you can see, I've got the strings in on both holes there, on the top and the bottom. And we'll try and do both of these together. Move the weed eater out of the way for a second. And so, let me pat you down as well. So you push these in to where the little string latches are, and then you actually pull back the opposite direction. There is an arrow, and I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but it's right there, and it's pointing this way. So the opposite direction that you have the string fed. So my bump feed was actually, whenever I just tested it out, was actually feeding the wrong way. Oops! So we're going to do both of these together here. And this bump feed line, it doesn't really, quite honestly, it doesn't hold a lot of string, which I'm kind of like, well, it doesn't quite hold as much string as my Echo. But not really difficult to change out, it looks like. And just needed some instructions and some education, right? Doing my best to make it so that I show you all the right things more so than, because this is something that you can look up pretty quickly. It's not something that I really have to figure out, thankfully. So let's hold that one. Let's hold that one while we push this one in, and then we will, let's go back one for this one. And we'll push that in right there. We will then feed the line in to the weed eater. Guys, this is one thing I've never been very good at, so full disclosure here, but I want to show you the whole sequence of getting this thing back together. So we've popped it in, and then it should just fold into some grooves down here. Right, like that, right? Screw that back on. Maybe give it a tug. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure if you have to unlatch those pins are not wherever you fit the, you know where you fit the string in. I wonder if you can just push this down like so. There you go. And I think that unlatches the pins that way that it's not locked in like it was earlier. We'll just screw this back on, and you should be able to pull it out a little bit once I do this here. Okay, you can. I'm going to cut off the excess string. And the other side. And I'll take it out for a test. I'll make sure that the bump feed works. It's dark, you're not going to be able to see it. But it should work now that I have strung it the correct way, hopefully. And we'll clean it up and do a final look and a final test. Alright guys, we are done with this. Picture time and everything for it. Just used a little bit of cleaner on the shaft here in order to get most of that dirt off. Again, this dirt's really caked on, so we just kind of gave it a little brush action right there, make it look a lot better, you know, a little brush action under there just to get most of the crud and stuff off. The up top here pretty much turned out like new. I just gave it a quick wash. I didn't want to wash it too much around the engine area just so that I didn't have any spark issues and whatnot. But that's it. I think that'll pull $100, don't y'all? I know it's just a FS45, but I think it'll work pretty well. Let me crank it up for you. I did crank it up after I washed it just to make sure, and it cranked on like the second or third pull, and like it's not even 40 degrees out here. So let me crank it up for y'all and let y'all hear it run one more time. I think that's good, guys. So let's wrap this up real quick, I guess. So here's what we did. We just bought one of them $8, $9 kits off of Amazon. Came with everything, fuel filter, fuel lines, all that good stuff. Changed it out, which didn't take 30 minutes. Put some fuel line, or excuse me, some trimmer line on it as well. Very pleased with Stihl. Just from this one device working on it, I am very pleased with how easy it was to pretty much change out the whole entire fuel system on it. And the I know it's a Chinese copy, but a Zama carb's a Chinese carb as well. So I could have easily rebuilt that Zama carb, just getting the gaskets and whatnot, because that's all that was wrong with it, was the gasket. I think it's the metering diaphragm, and all I had to do was, I guess, just buy that gasket. But you know, the gasket turns into the primer bulb and all that, and for $8 I can just get the whole kit and fix it. That's good. So this one will probably sell, like I said, for about $100. Only have a little less than 30 in it, again making about $70 off of it. Should sell pretty quickly. Stihl usually does not stay on the market very long when they go up for sale at a decent price. So yeah, pretty happy with it. If it was a straight shaft, I would almost consider keeping it for myself and selling my Echo. Although I like my Echo as well. I just really like how easy this was to work on. I don't like the head quite as much as an Echo, but I love, love, love the whole fuel line kit. That it's not those rubber lines, it's actually that green assembly there that seems a lot more durable. So thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hopefully I get more into some 2-cycle stuff this year. I don't really know what I'm going to get into, but the videos coming up will show you what I do get into. So if you like this kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.